The Unbroken Spirit, A Journey to Justice. The Arrest. The story begins on a quiet, starless evening in a small southern town. Marcus Johnson, a 35-year-old black man, is walking home from his late shift at a local diner. The streets are mostly empty, save for the occasional car passing by. His work uniform, a black polo shirt and khaki pants, is slightly wrinkled, and his backpack, containing nothing more than a packed lunch and a notebook, hangs loosely from his shoulder. He hums a soft tune to himself, a small escape from the exhaustion of the day. As Marcus passes a dimly lit convenience store, he notices a patrol car parked across the street. Before he can process it, flashing red and blue lights flood the area. "Hands up! Now!" shouts an officer. Marcus freezes, confusion etched on his face. "What's going on?" he asks, his hands instinctively rising. Two officers approach him, their hands on their holsters. "You match the description of a robbery suspect," one officer barks. Marcus's heart pounds. "I just got off work," he protests, his voice steady but trembling. "I've done nothing wrong." Without further explanation, the officers cuff him roughly and shove him into the back of the squad car. As he's driven away, he glances out the window, watching his quiet neighborhood fade into the distance, replaced by the sterile glow of street lights. The interrogation hours later, Marcus sits in a stark, windowless interrogation room. A single fluorescent bulb flickers overhead. His wrists are sore from the cuffs, and his throat is dry. Across the table, two detectives lean forward, their eyes scanning him like predators sizing up prey. "We know it was you," one detective says, sliding a grainy photo across the table. The blurry image shows a figure in a hoodie standing near the convenience store counter. "That's not me," Marcus says firmly, his voice cracking slightly. "I was at work all night. You can check with my boss." The other detective smirks. "We've got witnesses. They saw someone who looks just like you. And the surveillance footage? Pretty damning, don't you think?" Marcus shakes his head, frustration bubbling to the surface. "I don't even own a hoodie like that. Please, call my manager. Look at the time cards." The detectives exchange a glance but remain silent. Marcus's pleas fall on deaf ears. Hours drag on, and Marcus is eventually taken to a holding cell, his mind racing with disbelief and fear. The first court appearance. The courtroom is packed. Marcus sits at the defendant's table, wearing an ill-fitting suit provided by his public defender. The prosecutor's voice echoes through the room as he paints Marcus as a career criminal with a propensity for violence. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," the prosecutor begins, pacing dramatically. "The evidence against Mr. Johnson is overwhelming. Eyewitnesses place him at the scene. Surveillance footage corroborates their accounts. This is an open and shut case." Marcus's attorney, a young and visibly nervous man, fumbles with his papers before delivering a weak rebuttal. "Your Honor, we'd like to request more time to review the evidence." The judge, a stern man with a heavy gavel, looks unimpressed. Request denied. Marcus's eyes dart to his mother, sitting in the gallery. Her hands are clasped tightly in prayer, her lips trembling as she mouths silent words of encouragement. It's a small comfort in an otherwise hopeless moment. The turning point. As weeks turn into months, Marcus remains in jail, awaiting trial. His cellmate, Earl, a grizzled older man with a lifetime of hard lessons, takes Marcus under his wing. "They're gonna try to break you, kid," Earl says one evening, his voice gravelly but kind. "Don't let 'em. Keep your head up. Your truth will come out." Meanwhile, outside the jail walls, Marcus's story begins to spread. A local journalist named Vanessa Carter stumbles upon his case and is immediately struck by the glaring inconsistencies in the evidence. Determined to uncover the truth, Vanessa starts digging. She interviews Marcus's co-workers who confirm his alibi. She reviews the surveillance footage and notices something the police overlooked. The real suspect has a distinctive scar on his left cheek, a feature Marcus doesn't have. Vanessa publishes an expose titled Innocent Until Proven Guilty, the Marcus Johnson Case. The article gains traction online, drawing the attention of civil rights organizations and activists. The evidence emerges. At the appeal hearing, Marcus's new legal team, supported by activists and pro bono lawyers, presents the new evidence. Vanessa testifies, detailing her findings with precision. The defendant, Marcus Johnson, was at work during the time of the robbery, she says, holding up a time-stamped security video from the diner. This footage proves his innocence, and as for the blurry surveillance photo, the suspect's scar clearly differentiates him from Mr. Johnson. The courtroom buzzes with murmurs. The judge examines the evidence carefully, his expression shifting from skepticism to understanding. The verdict. After what feels like an eternity, the judge delivers his ruling. Marcus Johnson, the evidence presented has proven your innocence beyond a reasonable doubt. You are hereby acquitted of all charges. Marcus's knees weaken as relief washes over him. His mother rushes to embrace him, tears streaming down her face. The courtroom erupts into applause, supporters cheering, "Justice for Marcus!" A new chapter. Months later, Marcus stands at a podium in a crowded community center. Behind him is a banner that reads, "Injustice to Advocacy, Marcus Johnson's Story." "I lost so much during this fight," Marcus begins, his voice steady but emotional. "But I gained something far greater, a purpose. No one should ever have to go through what I did. And as long as I have a voice, I'll use it to stand up for the voiceless." The audience rises to their feet, clapping and cheering. Among them is Vanessa, who smiles proudly. Marcus's journey from wrongful accusation to empowered advocate has come full circle. Thanks for watching Storytime with Elif. If like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more emotional, inspiring, and amazing content. Your next favorite story is just a click away. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications.